So, yeah, guys, it's officially over. Lamine Yamal season is officially done. And honestly, I could come out here and I could act surprised. I could be shocked. I could sit here and be stunned that, at the most vital time of the season where we're basically about to wrap up the season and basically set the game over, guys, and basically confirm the league, that I am shocked and surprised that we've lost our best player. But unfortunately, chat, I have to be very honest. I'm not shocked at all. I really am not shocked at all. This injury was coming to Lamine Yamal eventually, right? And the only thing that I can look at that makes this injury not as bad or as awful, as terrible as it should be, is the fact that, well, technically we only have one competition to worry about, which is the league, because we're out of the Champions League and out of the Copa del Rey. But how different things could have been if we had not only been in the Champions League, but in the semi-finals where the Champions League is right now, and we had lost Lamine Yamal. This injury would have been 100 times more catastrophic. But yes, as basically it's been confirmed, there was a big worry that he might have torn his hamstring, right? But thankfully, he didn't, right? And his World Cup campaign or his World Cup dream is not over. He will be back by the time the World Cup starts, which, individually for Lamine Yamal, I am happy for. But as far as this season is concerned, it's done for him. It's over. And here's the thing, right? There's going to be a lot of Barca fans who are going to say, but Omar, we're 9 points clear right now. The season is almost wrapped up. There's only about 7 games left, right? We should be good. Well, here's why this injury has come at a very terrible time. Ladies and gentlemen, we still have a few good games coming up, right? Big games. Our next 2 games are going to be away from home. We're going to be playing Getafe and Osasuna. And then after that, it's obviously El Clasico at the Camp Nou. Now, we are 9 points clear right now in the league. And now, in the next 3 games, potentially, we have to play without our best player and our second best player in attack. Because right now, Rafinha is not yet back and Lamine Yamal is officially out. So basically, our most clutch players are not going to be available in some of the most important games of the season. Do not underestimate how important the next 2 away games before that El Clasico are. Because those 2 teams that we're playing, these are 2 teams that have a very good record in their home stadiums against Barcelona, right? First of all, this Saturday, we're taking on Getafe. Getafe, ladies and gentlemen, are one of the most frustrating and annoying and most irritating teams in Spain. No one likes this club except their own fans. They have been synonymous to being one of the most hated clubs in this country, in this league, because they're basically West Brom and Stoke merged into one, right? No one likes them. They're the most annoying, irritating team, and they are going to definitely give us a hard time. We're probably going to dominate, obviously. We're probably going to hold on to the other position, most definitely. We're going to definitely be the ones doing most of the attacking in this game at the stadium. But this is the thing. It's not about being dominant. It's about taking our chances. And when it comes to Getafe, go ask Real Madrid. At the Bernabeu, they beat them by a 1-0. One good opportunity scored, they took their chance, and basically they irritated the hell out of Getafe that whole game, and they got the win. And now they're playing at home against Barcelona. They are disruptors. They have nothing to play for. They're just going to be in this game against us just to ruin our season. And this weekend is going to be very, very, very difficult. Do not be surprised if we drop points this weekend. And then after that game, we then have to play at the Stadio Al Sadd at Osasuna Stadium. Now, in case anyone has forgotten, Osasuna this season already have already beaten our title rivals in Real Madrid. Literally, a few weeks ago, right? Right after the international break, Real Madrid went away to Osasuna, and guess what? They won 2-1. They won. And this is the thing, it was a much deserved win. And not only did they beat Real Madrid, but let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, last season, Last season, in our first defeat in La Liga, guess who gave us our first defeat? It was Osasuna. And not only did they beat us, they absolutely battered us. They were out of sight. And many people are going to make excuses. Oh, we were rotated. A lot of our best players didn't play in that game. Well, guess what? We don't have two of our best players playing in this game against Osasuna. So what's the difference? This is huge. If we, God forbid, lose both of these games of Getafe and Osasuna, now that means that the El Clasico now is way more vital than it's ever been, because we now have to not only keep on to our 3 points which we have left during the game against Real Madrid, but now Real Madrid now have all the motivation in the world to now go to the Camp Nou and beat us. And do not get it twisted, guys. They can beat us in our stadium. They've beaten us before countless amount of times. So them beating us in our stadium is not as impossible or as unrealistic as many people think it is. This is Real Madrid we're talking about. But this is the thing. This is how one big injury could basically cause so much disruption. Literally, the day before yesterday, 48 hours ago, we were sitting there saying, it's in the bag. It's in the bag. We're going to get it done. We're going to win this league. It is over. There is no chance in hell that we're going to bottle this. But now, because of this injury, there's food for worry. Because we are going to have to be reliant on some of our most inconsistent players. Now, we're going to have to rely on Ferran Torres now being on form. We're going to have to rely on Rashford waking up and actually doing something. We're going to have to rely more on Ronnie Bagdaji. We're going to have to rely on Robert Lewandowski. This is the players that we are relying on now until Rafinha returns. Rafinha is not going to return until May. And if he returns, he's not going to be 100%. This is a huge blow to our potential end of the season. And this is the thing. I don't want to be this guy coming out here being negative. But guys, we have to be mindful right now. This injury could basically destroy the end of the season for us. And look, this is where I'm going to have to talk about the root of this issue. I made a video literally a few days ago on Hansi Flick, where I was talking about his biggest mistakes at this club. And I said in that video, one of the biggest things that worries me about Flick is he's over-reliant on our key players. Our key players not getting rest in the most important moments. Our key players being overworked to death. Every single game, even in games when they're not really needed, when they don't need to play a full 90, when they don't really need to play 100%. And many people gave me this excuse of, well, we don't really have a rotational team. Well, guess what? Now that lack of, that fear that they're holding on to, saying, but we can rely on some of the young players. Well, guess what? Now we have a problem. Now we have to rely on those players now. We went from being this team where we're like, we don't have to rely. We can't rely on players like Ronnie. They're too young. They're too inexperienced, too inconsistent. Well, guess what? Now we're going to have to rely on them. Now we have no choice. Now we're going to have to rely on these players performing. We are now here. We're not forced to. And this is why we needed to rotate. This is why guys like Yamal should have been protected. Look at this season. Look at this season, guys, right? Yes, we are on the verge, or we are on the right path of retaining our league title. But are we as good as we were last season? No. No, we're not. Nowhere near close. And a lot of that is because most of our best players this season have been injured. Literally, look at this season, chat. Look at this season. We've lost Yamal some points this season before his latest injury. We've lost Rafinha basically for most of this season. Pedri has also been out this season. We've seen De Jong being out. Most of the players that played the most minutes last season have been suffering this season. And everyone wants to make this excuse of, but we don't have a lot of squad depth. Well, guess what, guys? We have some bench players. I'm not saying drop these guys completely out of the squad, but I'm saying at least give them some time to rest. Literally, Lamine Yamal, before this game against Celta Vigo, played 90 minutes in the last two games. We played Espanyol and Atletico Madrid. In the Espanyol game, we were winning for most of that time. We could have easily taken off Yamal in the 60th minute, 70th minute, rested him. But literally, Lamine Yamal had to play 290 minutes in the short span of 4 days. 180 minutes plus. And some of us are shocked that this injury has happened. It was coming. It was a hamstring. What do you think causes hamstring injuries? What do you think causes hamstring injuries, chat? What do you think causes hamstring injuries? It's the overworking of the thighs. When you're running too much, you mess up your hamstrings. That's the problem. And that is why we are here. That is why we are here. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Because here's the thing. Everyone can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want and be say like, oh, Omar, what could he do? Well, guess what? Now what is he going to do? Since he didn't have a choice, now what is he going to do? What are we going to do now that Yamal is out? Rafinha is out. We're going to have to rely on the players that you said he couldn't rely on. This is it. And this is basically it. And now we are here. We are here now in a situation where basically we have to try and make sure that we work it out and hopefully pray that Rafinha is back before Clásico. Because we need him. We cannot rely on the current attackers that we have. And this is the funny thing. The next 2 games are potential banana slips even with Yamal on the pitch. But now they've become 100 times harder because of this situation. What are we going to do now? What are we going to do now? Because now we're going to have to hope that we get something out of both of those games. If we can get a win and a draw, perfect. If we lose both games, catastrophic. And this is going to be a very, very, very stressful end of the season. But yeah, let me know what you guys think of everything I've said in the comment section below. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think I'm overreacting with this Yamal injury? Do you think that Barcelona can still, bring it home in the end, guys? And do you think that Real Madrid, if we drop points, Real Madrid could potentially drop points because they have a big game against Betis coming up tomorrow? But let me know, guys, in the comment section below. Make sure you guys smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and yeah, guys. Visca Barça. Take care, guys.